Hello, welcome to Financial Computing 1 in Mini 1 of 2024. I am this guy, John Ostlund, and I'll be your professor for this course. You can reach me either at my Carnegie Mellon email address, jostlund@andrew.cmu.edu, or my personal email address, jkostlund@gmail.com. I don't care which of those you use, they all end up routed to the same place. I will be available to you as much as I can possibly be from around 10 in the morning till around 9 in the evening, 7 days a week, unless I'm traveling. And since I don't expect to be traveling, that means pretty much constantly between now and the end of your course. When classes are in session, I do routinely work 7 days a week. I typically have office hours for various courses on the weekends, so never hesitate to send me an email, even if it's on a Saturday or a Sunday or a Friday night, because I will see it probably within 12 hours or less, and I will respond to it as quickly as I can. We will have office hours by Zoom for this course every Saturday evening from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And fortunately, we are all nowadays in the same time zone, so this is presently Eastern Daylight Time. It will become Eastern Standard Time in the next mini sometime. All right, so every Saturday from 7 to 8:30 p.m. and every Sunday from 1 p.m. to 2:30 p.m. I will have office hours. I'm also happy to set up Zoom sessions with you individually or with a group of students together on request. So if you do have questions that you'd like to meet with me about outside of office hours, let me know and we'll set something up. The lecture times for this course are from 3:30 to 4:30 in the afternoon every Monday and Wednesday, with the exception of week 2. Now, in week 2, Monday is Labor Day in the U.S., which is a federal holiday. And so that week, instead of having a lecture on Monday, we will have lectures on Wednesday and Friday, again, from 3 o'clock to 4:30 p.m. Each of those days. Okay? So Monday, Wednesday is normal, but for week number 2, the lectures are going to be Wednesday, Friday. I am ably assisted this mini by half a dozen teaching assistants. The primary job of these folks is to grade homework assignments and possibly grade some questions and some quizzes. So the quizzes are mostly self-grading. And I leave it to them as to whether they will choose to hold office hours by Zoom or not. It's entirely up to them whether they wish to do that. But if you do have a question about homework assignment, you should feel free to contact them as well as me. We will have an in-person, in-class final exam, which will be on Sunday, October 13th, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. For this final exam, unlike the programming prep final exam that we just did, you will be required to sit one seat apart from each other, so you will need to use both classrooms in both the Pittsburgh location and the New York location. No doubt you'll forget what I just said, so I'll remind you again when the time arrives. All right. Okay, so the prerequisite for this is programming prep, which you've just finished. And basically what we're going to do is talk about more facilities of Python 3, We're also going to introduce some approaches to pricing financial options. We're going to talk about web scraping and the SQL. Come here now. SQL structured query language for interacting with databases. And we'll probably see some more algorithms, some more dynamic programming, and the like. The software that you need for this is the software that you already have, Anaconda 2024.02 with Python 3.11. Now, there has been a more recent release of Anaconda in Python in July of 2024. You can upgrade to that if you wish, but it's not necessary. A couple of okay, so an excellent but also rather terse source of documentation for Python is the official documentation. For the language itself, you can go to docs.python.org/3.11 or 3.12 if you have upgraded. And if you want to get more documentation about NumPy or Pandas or Matplotlib, you can go to a website called scipy.org. I will not be directly referring to the stats models library, but that's also something that might interest you. We don't have any required textbooks for this course, but there are a couple of books that are worth looking at if you want further references. There is this Python for Finance book by this person whose name I'm not going to try to pronounce. I have no idea how to pronounce that. I apologize. This is available from the Carnegie Mellon University Library online. So if you go to the Carnegie Mellon University Library online, you can do a search and locate that book. Also, another very useful book is Python for Data Analysis by Wes McKinney. Wes McKinney is the person who wrote Pandas in the first place, and this book is really excellent for information about Pandas, NumPy, and a variety of other things. It also is available for free online. Now, in both of these cases, I want to warn you that there are several editions. There are 2 editions for Python for Finance. There are 3 editions for Python for Data Analysis. Make sure that you are looking at the most recent edition, the 2nd edition for Python for Finance, or the 3rd edition for Python for Data Analysis, because the other ones use older versions of Python that may not make any sense to you. The evaluation will be as follows. We will have homework assignments due each week, and the homework combined is going to be worth 20% of your course grade. There will be topic quizzes during the course, two topics per week, and I'll have more to say about those shortly, but all of the topic quizzes taken together will be worth 30% of your course grade. And then there will be one in-person final exam, as I mentioned, in person, in class, and that exam will be with 45% of your grade. Now, in terms of letter grades, here are the letter grades and the point scores that those correspond to in the MSCF program. So if you get an A+ on the final exam, that will be worth 45% of 4.33 toward the computation of your weighted course score. I do not give any A+ grades on homework or quizzes. So in order for you to get a course grade of an A+, that means that you have to get an A+ on the final exam, which typically means you need to be in the top 4, 5, 6% or so of the students. And you will also need to have high enough grades, high enough grades on all of your homework and quizzes so that your weighted average score based on the weighting of 20%, 35%, and 45% works out to some number that's strictly greater than 4, okay? All right. I will post lecture notes for each week on Canvas, usually the weekend before, and I do have pre-recorded lecture videos online, as I have done in the past with my other courses. Here are the rough sequence of topics that we're going to look at, starting with web scraping, getting data from arbitrary websites and converting that into a usable form for a Python program. We're going to have an introduction to the Black-Scholes-Merton option pricing formula, as well as a data structure called the binomial tree option pricing model that you can use to numerically compute an option price following the same assumptions about the world that the Black-Scholes-Merton analytical model makes. We're also going to take a look at how to do option pricing by simulating the evolution of stock prices. We're going to have an introduction to SQL. Now, you, in your role as a quant, may not be in a position to be administering an SQL database or writing code to put stuff into an SQL database. But for sure, you're going to have to be able to pull data out of SQL databases and other kinds of databases to do analyses. We will take a look at something called AVL trees, which is a form of self-balancing binary search tree that is easier to implement than the red-black trees that we talked about in programming prep. And depending on what other time we have, we may look at more dynamic programming algorithms, we may look at more linked data structures, and so on. As in my previous courses that you've taken, the homework assignments in this course are collaborative. I will assign you randomly each week to a team of 2 people, and I'm very careful to team New York students with other New York students and Pittsburgh students with Pittsburgh students. If my system believes you are in Pittsburgh, but you are in fact in New York, or vice versa, if my system thinks you're in New York but you're actually in Pittsburgh, please let me know so that I can make sure to team you up with someone in the appropriate location. You should try to do as much of the homework as you can independently, and then you want to compare what you've done with what your teammate has done. And between the 2 of you, or in a few cases 3 of you if I have an odd number of people, decide what you would like to submit as your submission for the team. Only one team member should submit homework, and all team members will receive the same score on the homework. Now, please make certain that the Andrew IDs of all of the authors of the code in your team appear in a comment at the top of each one of your source code files so that the TAs are aware of who the teammates are, okay? And as we did in the previous 2 courses, any score of 90 or better will be treated as an A on the homework assignment. And then lower grades for lower scores as shown here. The topic quizzes will be on Canvas, very similar to what you experienced during the programming prep final exam. You will need to use Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor so that we can make certain that you are the only, that you are taking the exam and that there's nobody around you and no class materials around you, et cetera, et cetera. Each quiz is going to cover a specific topic, rather than a collection of topics. And the intention of these quizzes is for you to demonstrate that you have mastered each topic. Now, what does mastery mean? Well, to me, here's what mastery means. Each quiz is worth 10 points. And I will agree that you have achieved mastery of a given topic if you're able to get 9 points or better. All right? Now, we're all human beings. And even if you have mastered certain material, you may occasionally slip up and make a silly mistake. Happens to me, happens to everyone. And so I do not require perfection here. I do not require you to get 10 points on a topic quiz in order to achieve an A. Like with the homework, I require you to get 90%, that is 9 points or better. If you fail to get 9 points, if you get lower than that, then the grade letter that will be assigned, the grade letter that will be assigned to your quiz will be computed according to what we do for the homework assignments. And this can be, frankly, kind of brutal because let's suppose you don't get 9 points and instead you get 8 points. Well, 8 points is a B, and 7 points is a C+, and 6 points is a D+. Okay, so the letter grades and therefore the GPA points fall off pretty fast if you get fewer than 9 points. However, don't panic because I'm going to allow you to take each of these topic quizzes. Here it says up to 4 times. Actually, I'm going to allow you to take each of the topic quizzes up to 5 times. I strongly recommend that if you take the quiz and fail to get 9 or better, do some reviewing of that topic's material before you attempt to take the quiz again. Occasionally, people will make the mistake of thinking, well, I'm just going to take the quiz 5 times in a row, and I'm going to hope I get lucky once and get a 9. That frequently doesn't work very well. And if you burn up all 5 of your attempts in a row and fail to get a 9, well, you're out of luck. I'm not going to take pity on you and give you more tries because you should have done some studying. All right? So here are the deadlines, the due dates for the various topic quizzes. 1 week from next Friday is when you have to be finished with topic quizzes 1 and 2. The following Friday, you have to be done with topic quizzes 3 and 4, etc. Now, the questions are generated randomly from a question pool. So it is very unlikely when you take a certain quiz that you will get the same questions the next time you take the quiz. And we could compute the probability of that, and the probability is really, really, really tiny. So you will get questions on the same material, but you will not get the same questions. So you do need to prepare to take these quizzes. All right. The quizzes are going to be closed book, closed notes, no access to the web, no phones, no instant messaging, no friends sitting behind you giving you the answers. You will have to use Lockdown Browser and Respondus Monitor. Respondus Monitor will activate your camera on your laptop and record, what's going on your desk. You are allowed to have scratch paper and pencils or pens, but that's it. Just like for the programming prep final. Now you do not have to be at CMU in order to take a topic quiz, but you really need to make sure that wherever you are, you're alone in a place without distractions, and make sure that wherever you are has good web connectivity. It's not a good feature to be trying to take a quiz and have your web connection drop out, 5 minutes in or whatever. It is possible that you'll come across a question that is wrong or absurd in some way. If that happens, make a note of it and send me an email after you have done your best to finish the quiz. And if I agree with you, I will give you credit for that. I have, over time, changed the wording of some questions to eliminate possible ambiguities and mistakes that people have pointed out. Next. All right, we live in a world of ChatGPT and Copilot and various other AI tools. And you are welcome to use these things, but not on topic quizzes or on the final exam, okay? So I ask you please to read through this entire description. The university has an extremely dim view on plagiarism, and you might find yourself getting kicked out. In a programming course, that isn't really so much of an issue. You may use Copilot or other AI tools any way that you want. And in my class, and not in other people's classes unless they say so, I will even allow you to copy and paste your code, but you have to tell me that you've done that. Okay, now if I have in a homework assignment some instruction like display the integers from 1 through 100. Well, there's only so many different ways to do that. The easy way would be to use a for loop with a range and a print statement. And if you type that yourself, or if you copy and paste that from Stack Overflow, or copy and paste that from a book, or copy and paste that from Copilot, that's an easy question with an easy answer, and I'm not going to freak out about worrying about plagiarism. But please do tell me when you do this. We're not going to take away any credit when you do this. You will lose credit if you copy and paste a solution that turns out to be wrong, of course. So you do have to get correct results. Okay, and again, this pertains to my course. I do ask you to please read all of this stuff. You may not use Copilot or any other tools, any other AI tools during the topic quizzes or the final exam. You may not, for example, when you're taking the topic quizzes, have your phone or your iPad sitting next to your laptop so that you're using your phone or your iPad to look stuff up and run AI tools while your laptop is stuck in Lockdown Browser. That will if you cheat in that way and we detect it, you will. If we become certain that you cheated, you will certainly fail the course, and you will perhaps be asked to leave the MSCF program and/or the university. All right, so the final exam, as I said, will be in class. It will be using Canvas, like the programming prep final exam. It will be 2 3/4 hours long, rather than the 90 minutes that we had in our last exam. Okay, the schedule I have already talked about. Assignments, etc., you are probably already aware of from previous courses, so I'm going to rely upon you to read the remainder of this material yourself. And welcome to the MSCF program. Welcome to Financial Computing 1. And I look forward to seeing you either directly or by video this coming Monday. Take care.